Well, both teams are warming up here at Cox Arena, getting ready for this Division III title game, St. Augustine and Kearny, but there's already been plenty of action here at Cox Arena earlier today. Already, 2 titles have been decided as you take a look at the Kearny Comets getting ready for this Division III game, but the 2 games already decided in Division V and Division IV. La Jolla Country Day, a winner 64-51. Josh McWhorter led him with 17 points and 10 rebounds in that game. And when you talk about Horizon, John Quintero, Horizon might be the best team in the county. I saw him just destroy Carlsbad earlier in the year. They won today over Lincoln 77-60. They've got a great player, Nate Carter.
Nate Carter, an outstanding player, had a nice ball game today, and of course coached by former San Diego State great Zach Jones.
That's right. And talking about Zach, he's standing by with Mike Hopt is standing by with our John Weisbart.
Hey, we got it right there. Stoney, thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm joined here by Mike Hopt. Coach, you're here again. It's kind of a different team this year. Last year, you guys maybe had the horses, had some big guys. You're supposed to be here this year. Kind of didn't take the more, conventional road, 13, 14 losses, but still, right. You're here. It's nice to be back, huh?
Oh, absolutely. This is our title, so we want to keep it.
Okay, exactly. You guys are the defending champs. No, you're not playing any kind of underdog card because of the injuries that we've all heard about. You're going through that. You guys are the champs, and this is where you should be, huh?
Absolutely. We have good players. We just had some injuries, and I think we've got most of our guys healthy. We've got Marcel and Ricky sitting on the bench, who were a big part of what we did, and we wish they were with us. But we still have good players. We're deep, so we're gonna go get it.
All right, Coach. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Back to Stoney.
All right, John, thank you very much. Mike Hopt does a great job. Of course, he was formerly on the staff at USD, and he's had great success at St. Augustine.
Well, a lot of people might remember Mike Hopt had a great high school basketball career playing at Mira Mesa. He, along with the great center from Poway High School, John Colburn, back in 1984, the Co-County Players of the Year.
All right, and at the same time, the Kearny Comets are here and trying to win a title, and their head coach, Marlon Christensen, and John Weisbarth has quickly switched benches.
Thanks a lot there, Stoney. Yeah, I need some water bottle after that, running across the court. I'm here with Marlon Christensen. Marlon, what's the key for you guys in this game?
I think the biggest key right now is we got to find a way to contain Ramel Marentes. He's a great point guard. He's the leader of the team, and we just got to minimize what he does tonight. I'd say, secondly, they're a little bit bigger overall, weight-wise, and maybe not so much height-wise, but physicalness. We got to keep them off the boards.
This is a big game for your team, for you, for your program. What'd you tell the kids before coming out here today?
First thing, come out here and have fun. Don't look up in the stands. Do that before the game. When you get on the floor, come out here. This is a winnable game. If you come out here and focus on it, we have a little thing that we have in our locker room, and it says, believe in yourself, and anything's possible. And when we get on the floor, that's what we want them to do today, and let's see what we can do.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck. Stoney, Coach, back to you guys.
It's going to be a nice matchup. There's no question about it. The experience of St. Augustine and a hungry team in Kearny.
And both these schools have a long history of success on the hardwood.
Absolutely. All right, both teams warming up. Back with the opening tip from Cox Arena. This Division III championship game is Championship Friday rolls on. Back with more after this. Nice crowd, decent crowd here at Cox Arena for the Division III championship game as St. Augustine and Kearny loosen up. And this is the start of a triple header for those of us here on Channel 4. And the fans are ready for it for this game, and they're going to be ready later on, too. There's going to be a terrific Division II matchup after this one, with Helix taking the floor with their great record against Escondido, a very athletic team.
Yeah, and of course Escondido comes into the ball game having lost their leading scorer. Julius Keeler was injured in a one-car accident last Saturday morning real early, and he's out, but they're hoping to have him here. He showed up the other night at the semifinal game, really gave a lot of inspiration to the ball club, and Paul Baldwin's done a really nice job, Stoney, building this basketball program at Escondido. On the other side of the ledger, John Singer, in his 21st year with the Helix Highlanders, brings his ball club to the Division II championship game. was a teammate in 1970 of the big redhead, Bill Walton's.
Great footnote to say the least. And in the Division I championship game, it'll be Carlsbad and El Camino. Carlsbad led by Greg Nelson and Derek Stockhelper, a very good team. And Carl McCullough and all those guys for El Camino. I mean, this is going to be a fun day of basketball.
Well, it's going to be a very athletic ball game, that Division I game. I mean, there's some great athletes in all 5 of these divisions. We saw a real racehorse basketball game here in Division IV, and the game won by Horizon over Lincoln, but a lot of tremendous athletes today out on this court.
All right, they're going to introduce the lineups here at Cox Arena. We'll take one more break and be back after this. Starting to introduce the starting lineups here at Cox Arena. Let's go to the public address announcer for more.
Mike Ife. A junior, number 25, Chris Agnes. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Saints, a senior, number 44, Jim Dubanetsky. The head coach for the Saints, Mike Hoff. Assistants, Andy Marici, Mike DeCellis, Jeff Wolken, and Ken Caesar. And now, ladies and gentlemen, presenting the Comets of Kearny High School. Head coach, Marlon Christensen. Assistants, Mike Tompkins, Carl Bronson. Refereeing the game this evening, Trevor Lindberg, Mike Rapp, and the referee, Scott Schrimpf. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take a moment of silence to remember Dick Haynes, former football coach at Vista High School, who passed away on Wednesday morning at the age of 76. Coach Haynes had 320 wins in 44 seasons as a head football coach, but during his 25 seasons at Vista High School, he brought innovation and excellence to his own school as well as all the schools in the North County. His 3-section champion teams were 13-0, including his 1985 team who won the state championship. The Vista High School community, especially his players, will fondly remember Coach Haynes. Everyone in this section sends their sympathy to his family and appreciation for the excellence that Coach Dick Haynes brought to the CIF San Diego section. A moment of silence, please. Thank you. And now, to honor America, please remain standing, remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem by the St. Augustine Pep Band.
John Quintero, every time the national anthem is played these days, whether it's at a high school basketball game, a professional sporting event, or wherever, start to get chills up and down your spine, don't you?
Well, there's no question about it. I got to be honest, when I was playing in high school and in college athletics, and even when I was coaching at the high school and college level, Stoney always gave me chills when I'd hear that national anthem. Always look forward to it. It's kind of the final thing you hear before you go into battle.
And it certainly means a lot more these days in our country. Starting lineups for this one as the fans from St. Augustine are ready. Take a look. Hancock, Garrett, Tucker, Burson, and Ware. Erskine Ware's a good one for Kearny. We talked about Chris Agnes and Marentes, the fine guard. Dubaneski, Ife. Sabatino all for St. Augustine, ready to play here at Cox Arena. The officials, Trevor Lindbergh, Scott Shrimp will throw it up, and Mike Rapp. And Kearny controls the opening tip. Hope you enjoy the day of basketball here on Channel 4. I know John Quintero and I will.
Jim, I think it's going to be interesting to see the style of play Kearny comes out and tries to play early on. I think they're really going to try to get St. Augustine into a half-court game.
Shot short, the jumper by Mario Burson. And running the other way, it's the Saints. And Chris Agnes gets him off to a good start.
See, that's one thing that Kearny cannot allow. Easy buckets by St. Augustine to get their fast break going. They've got to limit their transition points.
Erskine Ware, back rim, and he missed. The outlet, here's Marentes. He can do it all for the Saints. They get the ball again to Agnes. The pull-up jumper. Short, the tip, no. Another rebound, and they miss underneath. Agnes gets the ball. They're controlling on the offensive glass. He had it slapped away by Delvon Garrett. Ware to the basket, and a foul was called. On the drive, the foul is called on Nick Sabatino, his first and the game's first. And the ball out of bounds to Kearny.
Well, one thing Erskine Ware will always do, he will attack the goal, and you see him taking it hard to the hoop. Drawing the foul will be Kearny's ball out underneath their own bucket.
Where to throw it in. Let's see if he gets it back after he does. They bring it in and quickly stolen away by Marentes, and he's fouled coming up the floor. So Marentes fouled by Terrence Tucker. First team foul on Kearny, and the Saints have the ball back.
Probably a pretty good foul right there by Tucker. Marentes able to secure that ball. He'd have probably gone in for an uncontested layup.
Marentes played here last year, and of course the Saints had a far more talented team at the time with Floyd North, who was in attendance this afternoon, and also Eric Osmondson, who's now at the University of Utah. But this is still a dangerous ball club, believe me. Mike Ife gets it out to Marentes. Back to Ife on the baseline. Dribble drive, and he lays it up, but came back out. Ife runs down the rebound. Wide open underneath. Chris Agnes has got 4, and it's 4-0.
Well, good vision that time, and Agnes snuck behind the Comet defense for an easy 2. The only question was, is he going to catch the ball and then lay it in?
They screened out high for Ware, who turned the ball over. Marentes the other way. Saints really up-tempoing the game. Sabatino to the basket. It's 6-0 and a quick 30 taken by Kearny. They don't like the trend in the early going.
Well, the trend so far has been to hustle the ball up the court and try to get some easy look at the bucket for St. Augustine. I think it's a very wise timeout by head coach Marlon Christensen. You have to remember, this is the 6th straight championship game for St. Augustine right there. You see Agnes finishing after that wonderful pass. And once again, you see St. Augustine attacking that goal, something they love to do with Sabatino finishing it there. And that forced Christensen to call the timeout. Kearny hadn't been in a championship game in a long time, Stoney. Mike Hopkins had his ball club here for 6 straight years. So they're used to being here at the arena.
Experience certainly pays off. And while some of these kids didn't play last year, they were certainly here watching and absorbing and taking mental notes as to what it's like to play on this floor and in a championship game, and so far it's paying off.
Well, Marentes played last year, and he played a real solid ball game last year, so he's that veteran leader on the court St. Augustine needs.
Here's Ware out front. Everything goes around him. The jump stop and the jumper is good, and it's 6-2. When you need a couple, go to your big guy.
Well, the one thing about Erskine Ware is he can create off the dribble. We saw it right there. That was a great step through on a double team.
Sabatino's shot is short. No rebound to the Comets, and who else? Erskine Ware. Goes to the wing. Wings it out front. Delvon Garrett, they swing it left side. Person, his shot, no good. And the ball to the corner to the Saints. Dubineski ran it down. He played here last year. Sabatino out front, Dubineski. Wide open underneath. Good look. Ice throws it in.
Well, right there, they're Kearny playing a 2-3 zone. The problem is their back 3 players are playing too high, and St. Augustine able to get good spacing and find players all alone underneath. They're going to have to make an adjustment. They're going to have to drop their middleman on that 2-3 zone down a little bit.
Saints by 6, and a foul called underneath as Delvon Garrett went to the basket. Foul was on Dubineski. That's his first and the team's second. And Garrett gets to the free throw line for a couple as Mike Hop looks on from the St. Augustine bench.
Dubineski, a well put together athlete, averaged almost 9 points a ball game this year. Going to go to Villanova and Dubinetsky didn't get cheated on that foul.
Good hard foul, and at the line is Garrett. First with the right hand, no good. Grim.
To mention, Dubinetsky going to go play a little college football next year at Villanova University.
Not known as a football power, but at the same time, they're coming on in Division I AA and really a really quality institution. Great school.
Yeah, Villanova had a player really make it big this year for the Atlanta Falcons. Brian Finneran had a nice year.
Garrett made the second. 4:58 to go first quarter and a timeout. Saints leading by 5. Back with 4 in a minute. The Saints of St. Augustine leading Kearny in the early going in this Division III title game, 8-3. John Weisbarth joining us, as he will all evening long. John, what do you have?
Stoney, thanks a lot. Romel Marentes is the lifeblood of this Saints team. Coach talked about it a little bit in the opening. He's playing with 2 broken feet right now. He's been cleared by the doctors to play, saying it won't be any more damage to his feet, but it basically comes down to playing with the pain. And this team, Mike Hopp told me, is much better with Romel out there. Guys?
Absolutely, and Kearny turns it over after the Agnes basket. Nothing wrong with the feet of Chris Agnes. I mean, he can get up. He went to the basket. He's got 6, and it's 10-3 St. Augustine.
Yeah,
Kearny trying to trap a little bit.
Yeah, a little half-court trap. Good job by Marentes not walking into it.
Agnes misses that time, and Kearny the rebound. Garrett gets the ball off quickly. They push it up the floor. Burson in the corner. Mario Burson had a good game in their last playoff game. This is Ware. The pull-up. Barely drew iron that time. Sabatino to Marentes. His feet look pretty good there, although it's a charge against Rommel Marentes.
Well, good job that time. Terrence Tucker getting back as the man to stop the dribble. Marentes just ran right over Tucker. Good job of anticipation by Terrence Tucker right here. Boom. Good call by the official. Yeah, good call by the official as the play was coming to him.
So the first foul on Marentes, 13th foul on the Saints. Kearny answering back at the other end. Mario Burson from deep. That's 10-6. This is Agnes to the basket. Off. Gets his own rebound. Agnes has been very active. There's Dubinetsky. Jim Dubinetsky averages about 9 points a game. He's got his first 2 this afternoon. 12-6 in favor of St. Augustine. Spencer Hancock on the wing. Tucker out front. And now Garrett had it stripped by Agnes. Quick hands by Agnes. Dubinetsky ahead to Marentes. Skips it across, and Ware is back defensively. Good anticipation. Erskine Ware pushes it up. He's a good-looking athlete. Hancock in a high post. Kearny trying to answer. Here's Ware. About 3 minutes to go in the quarter. And right down central, Delvon Garrett.
Well, that was a good effort that time by Kearny. They didn't rush. They worked the shot clock, forced St. Augustine to play a little defense, and we're able to get a bucket.
Agnes on the baseline, over and off. And underneath, it was Tucker with the rebound. This is Erskine Ware again. To Tucker. They get it in the corner. Garrett. Missed an easy one on the baseline. This is not an easy building to shoot in if you've never come here and played before. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's the problem, Stoney. A lot of these players, they don't have the opportunity to shoot in here prior to the ball game, aside from their 20 minutes prior to the game. And the backdrop here is so different than a high school gym.
Agnes is not having a problem, though. Got 8 points in the first quarter. It's 14-8. He is really off to a great start for the Saints. Ware to Hancock and back to Ware. He's going to pull up the 3, partially blocked. Agnes to Marentes and ahead to Dubinetsky, who couldn't make the grab at the other end.
Good effort by Ware to hustle back after he had his shot deflected. He hustled back and took away a fast break opportunity for St. Augustine.
Inside of 2 minutes to go in the quarter. The pull up. Nice job by Mario Burson, who's got 5.
Burson had a good year. He was all-tournament team in the Titan tip-off. He was also an honorable mention all-league selection, only a sophomore.
14-10, Saints by 4. Dubinetsky, more or less a set shot, and he missed it from 17, but Agnes is there. His jumper over and off. Hancock the rebound for the Comets. Kearny coming back. Erskine Ware to the wing, right side. Down low and threw it away over the head of Hancock. The turnover with 1:23 to go in the quarter, and some substitutions into the ball game for the first time. Coming on for the Saints, Mike Silva, big kid, 6'3", senior. Good-looking athlete, has played here before. Fernando Orozco, he wears number 3. And they get it to Orozco, who immediately jacks up a 3 and nails it. Fernando Orozco, a 6'1" senior, comes into the game, comes in cold, and gets hot quickly.
Well, Kearny going to take another timeout. They were lost in that zone that time. They had 2 players guarding down low, and they had nobody get out on the wing, and that gave Orozco the opportunity to hit nothing but the bottom of the net. Nice ball movement, nobody jumping out, getting a hand in his face, great rotation, outstanding release, and Marlon Christensen takes his second timeout here in the first period.
With 1:10 to go, and it's 17-10 St. Augustine. This is a busy weekend of basketball all around San Diego County, not only here at Cox Arena, where we're going to have 6 games here on Channel 4, girls tomorrow, 3 boys games today. Also have to wish everybody good luck on the college level. Brad Holland and his Toreros of USD hosting the West Coast Conference Tournament. They'll start playing tomorrow. The women have already started playing. And Steve Fisher and his Aztecs will be out here tomorrow night against Air Force trying to earn a bid in the NIT. So, I mean, it is wall-to-wall hoops. If you're a hoop head, this is a place to be. There's no question about it.
Well, tomorrow night after the 3 high school games, they'll have the Aztec basketball game against Air Force, and the ladies will be on as well tomorrow night. Barb Smith's team, as they close out the regular season against BYU.
Kearny down and Kearny in. Mario Burson, he's had the hot hand early for the Comets. He's got 7. It's 17-12.
When Kearny takes their time, runs their half-court offense, they do a real nice job. They cannot get caught up in trying to play a step faster than they need to.
Saints with the ball, and they go to Ife on the baseline. Out front, Marentes on the dribble drive. Scoops it up and in. What a move.
He had to work hard for that. That defense coming out of that timeout from Kearny doing a much better working together as a team moving, and Marentes just made an acrobatic shot.
Here's Burson to Garrett. And out front, Stanley Johnson into the game, misses a shot. Johnson's a 6'3" senior. It's 19-12, last 10 seconds of the quarter, and the Saints will wait for the last shot.
This is where Marentes is normally an outstanding player.
Except he lost the ball, but the Comets turn it over, trying to get to the other end. They threw it over the head of Burson. There's just 7/10 left in the quarter, so really no time to do anything. The Saints will bring it in, and that'll be the end of the quarter.
Ramel normally does a good job at taking care of the basketball. That time he was going to try to get airborne and make a snap pass. He ended up coming out of his hands.
J.C. Dominguez, a 6'1" junior, is in for the Saints. He's wearing number 11. They bring it in. Marentes in the backcourt. Will pick it up at half court and fire. And misses it. So we played 1 here at Cox Arena. Good first quarter for the Saints of St. Augustine. They lead the Comets of Kearny 19-12. Back with more on Championship Friday right after this. Jim Stone and John Quintero back with you at Cox Arena. St. Augustine leading Kearny 19-12 after a quarter in this Division III title game. Saints with the ball to start the second quarter, and Ramo Marentes bringing it up. Mike Silva out front. Back to Marentes. He certainly runs the show for Mike Hopp. Mike thinks he can play a little bit on the next level. Maybe not at the Division I level, maybe more the Division II level in college basketball. And have a nice career. Dominguez almost turned it over. He gets it on the baseline to Marentes, and they swing it. 9 to shoot. And a jumper no good by Orozco. But they get the rebound. The Saints have been doing a nice job on the offensive glass. Of course, that's a long rebound.
Kearny now gone to a man-to-man start the second quarter.
They've showed both, and traveling called out front. The turnover back to the Comets.
Well, the one thing about Kearny, Jim, they like to play a 2-3 zone, but they've got very good quickness, and if they play together, that man-to-man can be very, very devastating to the opponent. Just kind of a change-up. Marlon Christensen trying to change the tone of this basketball game right now.
They've had some great athletes at Kearny over the years, haven't they?
Oh, we can go back and talk about some of the great ones. Of course, Alan Trammell played there, graduated in '76, and Mark Hoagland, their big center on that undefeated team, the '73-74 season.
Burson called for traveling as he went baseline, or tried to.
There have been so many great basketball players at Kearny. I feel bad even mentioning one or two because I'm going to leave off so many great ones.
And of course, they've had a quality girls basketball program at Kearny too. We've had the opportunity to do a number of their title games. Triola Alexander, my pal, is now at St. Mary's, if I am right on that one.
You are correct. We did
Saints with the ball.
We did her championship games 3 years in a row.
She got on me for a free throw shooting. Remember that?
You were a great motivator for Triola Alexander. She got better as she got older, too, didn't she?
Absolutely. Substitutions for the Saints as they bring Mike Ife back into the game. You take a good look at him. Ife scored a couple. He averages 6.7 a game. Senior. Big, strong-looking athlete. Still 19-12, St. Augustine. 6:42 to go in the half. The Division III championship game. And you know these kids are jacked up to play here. Saints show zone. No matchup out of it. Launching one. Garrett missed it. Ware had his shot partially blocked. And pushing it is Morentes. Long lead, far side. Sabatino, the runner. There was contact, no foul called, and he missed everything.
Tucker was going to pick up his second charge of the ball game. The problem was he didn't get the acting award on that one.
Brandon Rooks is into the game. 5'9" sophomore. He's got the ball on the wing. Launches one. Missed it. The lefty. Underneath. Erskine Ware.
Erskine Ware can really leap, Stoney. I mean, he came baseline to get that rebound. I mean, he is really active in this game right now.
Good anticipation, too. A block, a moving screen called out front on the Saints on Dubineski. It's his second and the team's fourth, and the ball out of bounds to Kearny. I like Erskine Ware's basketball prowess. I mean, he really sees the floor, and he's got nice anticipation like right here.
Take a look at Ware coming out of nowhere, staying with that ball after it was initially tipped, securing it and laying it in. He's been real active so far.
And Ware misses the three. And the Saints grab it. Sabatino. He might have been fouled from behind. No call. The ball out of bounds. The Saints will keep it with 5:36 to go in the half. Been just 2 points scored in the second quarter so far.
Yeah, Brandon Rooks ended up blocking that shot.
Morentes to trigger the inbounds. Gets it into Mike Ife. Gets it back to Morentes for three.
Well, it all started because Dubineski came down and laid a down screen. That freed Morentes up after he inbounded the ball. And tell you what, Dubineski, he can set a pretty good screen.
Morentes has 5. He averages about 18 a game. Quickly back. Rooks misses the jumper, and Morentes skies for the board.
For a guy who's got two bad feet, I'll tell you what, he got up off the deck pretty well.
Agnes misses in close in the paint. Rooks the rebound. Brings it up quickly. Showing some quickness. Shot up and in, but they'll wipe it off. The charge is called. Brandon Rooks picks up his first, the team's second. Rooks has some quick. A little out of control that time.
Yeah, he was a little out of control. I'll tell you what, a little runner right there, got the roll, but it's disallowed. Runs right over him. Take a look right here. Starting to lean Dubineski. Now, you can run over him. You're running over a pretty big man right there.
Timeout called. 4:57 to go first half. Mike Hopta's happy. His team, the Saints, they lead it by 8. Welcome back to Cox Arena. St. Augustine leading the Kearny Comets 22-14 in this Division III title game. Good to have Mike Trussell alongside, keeping statistics, and he informs me both teams have turned it over 4 times in the first half of this one.
It's been a pretty entertaining basketball game so far, Stoney. I think St. Augustine obviously got a little jump on Kearny from the standpoint they've been here, seen what it's like to play in this environment, but now Kearny played much more aggressive basketball to start the second period, and I give Coach Christensen a lot of credit. He took a couple of timeouts early in the basketball game, and it really seems like it's helped his basketball team. They're playing with much greater intensity right now on the defensive end of the floor.
Kearny sends out after the timeout. They've got Burson out there with Garrett, Terrence Tucker, Erskine Ware, and St. Augustine with the basketball. Chris Speed's into the game for the first time for Kearny. And a foul call forced far side on Dubineski, and that'll be his third.
And they're going to have to get him out of there right now. He picks up his third foul, and he's really the big guy in the middle that really applies a lot of muscle. That hurts.
Silva comes in to replace him as Dubineski will sit the rest of the half. Silva may be a little more athletic than Dubineski, but not as large. They match up in their zone.
Well, but Silva, an outstanding football player, he's going to attend Stanford University next year.
Out front, Terrence Tucker misses it short. This is Ramo Morantes. Skips it across. Nice pass. They get it to Agnes out front. He lost the ball. It's loose right in front of us and out of bounds. And Kearny will have it off the turnover. As soon as we start talking about turnovers, what happens? More turnover.
Well, Kearny might lack some experience playing in a championship game. The one thing they don't lack is quickness. I'm real impressed with the athleticism of this basketball team.
22-14. Been all Saints so far. Burson from deep is short. Ife has the rebound underneath. This is Morentes, Sabatino, and Silva. Mike going to the basket will go to the free throw line for a couple. So the football player gets to the free throw line after being fouled by Chris Speed. Speed's a 6'4" senior, and there was no doubt about it.
There's Silva right there. Pretty good move for a guy who hadn't played until midway here in the second period, putting the ball on the deck, taking it to the rack, and drawing the foul. Now he'll have to earn those 2 points at the free throw line.
And he gets the first. You know, when you looked at that replay, he got him with the body. There was a block up top, but he got him with the body. There was no question.
Stoney, it's always with the body after a clean block.
You should know that by now. After working in the Mountain West a number of years.
Oh, man.
Silva's second, way short. 23-14 and a ball out of bounds, and the Saints will get it. Things aren't going right for Kearny in this first half. There's still a long way to go. Morentes to bring it in.
Kearny going to zone the out-of-bounds play.
And they go to the corner. Sabatino. Ife on the high post. Back to Sabatino on the wing.
Now they're going back to their man-to-man after the ball came out front.
Agnes baseline. Lays it off underneath. Ife misses in close. That's Mike Silva. He couldn't get it to fall. And Rooks pushes for Kearny. Erskine Ware out of control, lost it. Rooks gets it. The lefty spins out. And Mike Ife comes up the floor for St. Augustine. Nick Sabatino, and they get it to Morentes. 23-14 and about 3:20 to go in a half. That's Agnes in the paint.
That's a nice job by Agnes, breaking down Tucker in the lane and elevating over him for the bucket.
Chris Agnes has 10 points in this first half. He has been terrific. Rooks down low, turned it over. No. Ware ran it down and gets it underneath to Chris Speed. So the senior Speed has his first 2. That's 25-16.
That was a pretty pass by Ware, getting into the lane and finding Speed for the easy layup.
Morentes, nice crossover dribble. Rejected underneath. Late whistle and the ball out of bounds to St. Augustine. As Garrett was lying on the baseline with the basketball. Hancock comes in, so does Burson for Kearny. And coming in, Kyle Robinson for the first time for the Saints.
Right there, Ware drawing the defense, laying it off to Speed, and he secures it and lays it in. That was a beautiful pass. Love to see high school basketball players have that kind of court vision.
Morentes dribbles out for the Saints. The quality of high school basketball in San Diego County keeps getting better and better and better every year.
Well, I think the other thing that's going to help basketball in San Diego County continue to grow. I think with the way San Diego State is starting to develop a team as well as USD, the more they see it in college in person, the more you're going to see kids, I think, go out and work on the blacktop.
Ball out of bounds to Kearny with 2:28 to go in the half. 25-16, St. Augustine leading. And the Saints are going to sit in that matchup zone. It's amazing they can run out of that zone. Rooks may have gotten away with a travel out front. Agnes with the ball. Kyle Robinson, mentioned him coming into the game. He wears 20. Here's Agnes out front for 3. May have been a little bit out of his range.
Well, that's not Chris's game right there. We saw him a moment ago break down the defense and get a bucket in the lane. He'll every once in a while step behind the arc, but his game is really taking it to the hoop for the mid-range jump shot.
A little more of a slasher.
That's a good description.
Here's Kearny dribbling up.
You got that on your scouting report over there? Or what?
Absolutely. I talked to all the coaches. Get it done early. 25-16. Preparation, 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 coach.
That started about a week ago.
Minute 50 to go in the half. Nice play by Robinson to knock it away. This is Burson running it down. Hancock inside laying it in. Spencer Hancock with his first two. And back come the Comets. They're down just 7. Good defense inside. They've got the ball again. And timeout called by Kearny. They forced the turnover. Erskine Ware making the steal, and Marlon Christensen calls timeout as Ware had the ball on the floor, could play. So it's 25-18 with a minute 34 to go in the half, and John Weisbarth is somewhere in the building. What's up, John?
Thanks a lot, Stoney. That last timeout we had, Coach Christensen told his boys, listen, you're letting Saints off too easy by taking that outside shot. Work it in, work it out, make them work a little bit. They picked the toughest building that they've played in all season to try and hit a 3. In a big arena like this, it's cavernous, it's hard to see it, and they're 0 for the day. Guys?
All right. And you see Marlon Christensen looking on. So far in this one, though, it's been Chris Agnes for the Saints. He's got 10 points in this one. It's 25-18, St. Augustine leading, but Kearny coming back. And, you know, it's interesting, Coach. Doesn't matter what level of basketball, you're going to score a lot off your defense. And Kearny, the last few times down, has played pretty good defense, and they get the easy one underneath. It's Delvon Garrett.
Delvon Garrett coming from the weak side along the baseline. They were unable to get a body on him, and he gets that rebound, a bucket, and try to finish off the old-fashioned three-point play.
Mike Silva got the foul as you take another look at it. Garrett crashing.
Got to get a body on that weak side rebounder. Garrett going in there and muscling up a little bit. See, he's got the inside position. Doesn't even come down, just puts it off the glass and gets fouled.
Well, here's Garrett at the free throw line. He's 1 of 2 there so far tonight. Make it 2 of 3. And all of a sudden, it's a 4-point game.
Well, all of a sudden, Kearny has gotten their sea legs. I mean, and I hate to overblow it, but St. Augustine's been in this building before and played. They know what to expect. Kearny, been a long time since the Comets have played in the championship game at the boys division.
Alfredo Vasquez, you saw him, the sophomore into the game. Morentas losing it going to the basket. Rooks running the other way. Comets are on a run. This is Burson for 3. An air ball, and it's out of bounds to St. Augustine with just inside of a minute to go first half.
For Kearny right now, this is where the youth kind of gets them in trouble. They need to be patient. When they've been patient in this first half and run their offense, Tony, they've done an outstanding job, not only getting good shots, but also getting some offensive rebounds.
Chris Agnes has had the big half. Out front he goes to Mike Ife. Now Morentas. Morentas misses the 14-footer straight away. The ball out of bounds to the Comets with 42.7 seconds left in the half. Kearny's on a nice 7-0 run here to climb back to within 4. Let's see if they can get closer. There's about a 7-second differential game clock and shot clock. Woods with the ball out front. That's Burson, Mario Burson on the wing. Slashes inside, stops, doesn't shoot. Now they get it to Erskine Ware with 10 to shoot. Down to 7, and Ware's going to have to go. Pull up 3, rimmed it, no. Underneath Burson, gets the ball off to Vasquez. His jumper, an air ball. Silva had the rebound and a foul called underneath.
Well, the crowd getting a little bit loud here. Hard to hear the whistle from the officials.
Spencer Hancock got that foul. His first, the team's 4th. Saints with the ball out of bounds, just over 4 seconds to go. They get it into Morentas, and here he goes. Watch the point guard. Into the paint. Scoops it up. No, but they call the foul at the buzzer. They called a foul just before the horn sounded, and Morentas gets to the free throw line. Great job by Morentas on the drive. He was fouled by Erskine Ware. He got the ball in the paint, scooped it up, and there's no question. He was hit on the arm, and he'll get 2 shots.
Yeah, good call. 2 of the officials had it. Both their arms went up right away. So Marlon Christian doesn't like it, but they made the right call.
Morentas makes the first, and another one coming. He can make it a 6-point game at the half, and he does. So at halftime here at Cox Arena, it's the Saints of St. Augustine, and their fans happy as they go off, leading by 6, 27 27-21, but Kearny showed a little life at the end of that second quarter. Went on a mini 7-0 run, got back into the game. They're down 6 at the break, and their head coach Marlon Christensen is with our John Weisbart.
Thanks a lot, Stoney. Coach, you guys came out, you got a young team, maybe fell off there a little bit in the first quarter. Second quarter really here at the end made a run. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, we finally tightened up the defense a little bit. We changed up a little scheme we had. We came out a little, as you say, young, making some mental mistakes, so we just got back to the basics. Our kids still haven't figured out offensively that it's tough to shoot in a gym like this when you don't play in one every day. And when we can figure that, if we can figure that out in here and get to the basket a little bit more, hopefully we can make more of a game of it here.
Good luck in the second half, Coach. Stoney, Coach, back to you guys.
We talked about it early on. I mean, the shooting background here is difficult if you've never shot in here, and I think his kids, as he admitted, are having a little trouble with it, and yet it's still just a 6-point game at the break.
Well, he brought up two things that you and I talked about in the first half. Number one, the youth hurt him early on. His kids now playing with much more confidence, and of course they need to be more patient offensively, Jim, and get to the bucket.
All right, at halftime, 27-21. Saints of St. Augustine on top. Their cheerleaders on the floor. Back with more from Cox Arena right after this. Jim Stone and John Quintero back with you at Cox Arena. 27-21 at halftime. The Saints of St. Augustine leading the Kearny Comets. Coach, an interesting first half. Chris Agnes, outstanding for St. Augustine.
Well, he played real well in the first half. I thought Marentes early on played real well, and St. Augustine played real well. And then all of a sudden, Marlon Christensen took that second time out late in the first quarter, and we saw a different Kearny team in the second quarter. They really played much better defense. They were much more active, and if they'll be patient offensively, I really think this game's going to go down to the wire and to the final buzzer.
So far, the experience of St. Augustine has paid off. There's no question.
Well, there's no question about it. Marentes really does a great job of handling the basketball. He gets everyone involved. What was kind of interesting, it looked like St. Augustine tried to spread the floor a little bit and try to really stretch out that defense of Kearny, and it didn't work.
All right, so at halftime, 27-21, the Saints in front. When we come back to Cox Arena, you'll hear from the tournament director. He's an old friend of everybody in high school basketball around here, Al Schaefer, former Ramona head coach. More coming up from Cox Arena after this.
Welcome back to halftime, the Division III CIF Championship game. I'm joined now by tournament director Al Schaefer. You might remember him. He's the former head coach at Ramona. Coach, a little bit of different hat here. You're not a coach this year. You're the tournament director. What does that mean exactly?
That I'm a lot more relaxed than a year ago when you talked with me. Dennis Ackerman, the director, asked me to come aboard and help a little bit, and I've been a liaison between the coaches and the CIF office. We're trying to have everything run a little more smoothly. They actually took a few suggestions from my coaching days, and as well as a player in playoffs, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, Coach, you've been in a championship game before. You've been here. Just last year you were here. How important, how big is this for the kids, for the communities, to be able to play in an event like this, in an arena like this?
It's a tremendous experience, and it really the entire community. I've had more people come up to me and say, geez, we saw you on TV. It's great that Cox televises it. It's the highlight of the athletic year for not only the players, coaches, but the school and the fans. It's terrific.
Coach, well, I keep calling you Coach. Do you miss coaching? I mean, is that something that it's tough? You were there a long time. You got in the routine. Now it's done. You're a lot more relaxed, you said. But maybe you miss it a little bit.
I miss it a great deal. I miss the competition. There are a lot of great coaches in the area, and we've got many of them performing today. And the relationship with the coaches, and that's one nice thing about this job, because I can stay in touch with my coaching friends, my colleagues. Two, Mike Williams and Neville Sainer, are hanging it up this year. They were great coaches. You know, we hope to involve them in this. But yes, I miss the competition. The daily grind and some of the problems that are involved in coaching, I don't miss at all.
There you go. Well, thanks a lot. Congratulations on the tournament director. We appreciate it, and good luck with the rest of it.
Hey, thank you very much. We hope it goes very nice the rest of the way. We got a couple great matchups coming up.
Absolutely. Coming up after the break, we've got stats and highlights from the first half.
St. Augustine up by 6 at the break. Both teams coming back on the floor. Check the first half highlights as the Saints lead it by 6 over Kearny. And John Quintero, Ramo Morentes, he can get you going.
Yeah, and did a nice job of creating his own shot. A little spin move in the lane. You'll see him step back behind the arc and knock it down. Chris Agnes, Stoney really played a solid first half. Very active. You'll see him get behind the Kearny defense there for an easy bucket. And once again, getting in the paint, elevating over Tucker and hitting nothing but nylon. And once again, creating a shot for himself. Getting in that lane. Good jump stop, getting his shoulder square to the bucket, and a good extension on his shot.
And Mario Burson, meantime, for Kearny, gave them some quality minutes.
Yeah,
pull up in the paint.
Burson's a good-looking player. You'll see right here. Once again, Burson elevating. I love that up fake that put the ball on the deck. Elevate over the defender.
So Agnes with 10 to lead the Saints. Morentes with 5. Orozco off the bench with 3. They lead at 27-21 at the break. And Burson leading the Comets with 7 points. Garrett with 6. Erskine Ware has been held in check. 4 points in that first half.
Well, I think he got a little out of control early, trying to take real long-range perimeter jump shots, a little bit out of his range. When he was patient, Stoney, and got into the lane and drove to the bucket, he was very solid.
Kearny with the ball to start the second half and the third quarter, and Ware dumps it down to Hancock. Trying to get it back to Ware. They turn it over. Morentes, the long lead. Ife tries to save it, couldn't. Scott Shrimp with the call, and Kearny with the ball back.
Well, you saw right there St. Augustine trying to kind of pick up where they started this basketball game, pushing it up the floor. I think the first 5 minutes of the second half going to be real interesting.
How about that spin move by Ware inside? The foul will go the other way. It'll go against Kearny. It's on Hancock. Push going for the rebound, is second, and the first team foul in this second half.
Once again, Kearny comes up and takes the first shot that they see. I'd like to see them be a little more patient. Maybe, get the ball to Ware with about 15 seconds to go on the shot clock. Force St. Augustine to have to play a little defense.
Jim Dubineski is on the floor to start the second half for the Saints. He's playing with 3 fouls. He's wearing number 44 and lines up in a low post. This is Mike Ife out front. Here's Dubineski. He popped out high. Now they get it to Morentes. 7 to shoot. Little guy's going to take him off the dribble, and a moving screen. It's called against Ife. So Ife picks up the foul. It's his first and the team's first. Checking the stats from the first half. Neither team shooting the ball extremely well.
Well, Kearny 1 for 11 behind the arc. That's not their game. They don't normally take 11 in a full game, let alone in a half. I think that's nerves right there.
Look at those rebounding stats. The Saints out-rebounded them by 7. This is Delvon Garrett. The runner, he got it to fall.
Well, the interior defense of St. Augustine has not been real good. The Kearny players, guys like Ware and Burson, have done a good job of getting in the paint.
Ife tied up underneath by Hancock, and they call a jump ball, but the Saints will keep it with 6:41 to go third quarter. Well, it's 27-23, just a 4-point game. Saints leading with the ball. Morentes to bring it in. Lobs it way out front to Ife. Nice catch. Gets it back to Morentes. He has the ball most of the time for the Saints. Down low, Dubineski. Good entry and even better block by Hancock.
Hancock coming from the weak side and elevated and deflected that shot. The good thing for Kearny, it stayed on the court, and they were able to retrieve the ball.
They dump it down to Hancock. Fading away. Spencer Hancock has 4. He scores. He had the block at the other end, and all of a sudden it's a 2-point game.
Yeah, Hancock normally has to guard players bigger than him. He's a senior. He's only 6'3". He's having to go against Dubineski, who's 6'5".
Morentes is pass tipped, but Agnes runs it down. Nice crossover dribble into the paint. Agnes from 10. A rebound to Ware. Kearny can tie it with a deuce or take the lead with a 3. Erskine Ware off to Hancock. Kearny dominating here early in the third quarter.
Good job by Kearny right now. Get a little floor balance, get everybody where they belong, and then get into their offense.
Burson had it slapped away. There goes Morentes. Splits them and gets fouled. They'll call the foul on Erskine Ware. Ware gets his second team foul. on Kearny, and the ball out of bounds to the Saints, and Marentes really has some quickness. Great basketball sense, too.
Him and Tucker locking arms, and they go into the sidelines together, and they exchange pleasantries. Both kids playing really hard. I like Tucker, a young ball player, really plays hard at both the offensive and defensive end.
Hife out in front for the Saints. Brings it back out by the timeline to Marentes. You must have a good point guard, and the Saints have one as he pulls up. Marentes knocks it down. He's got 9 points now, John, and he's really playing well.
Yeah, and he's the guy that they're going to go to. When anytime they get into a critical situation, talking to Mike Hopp, they're going to get the ball in Marentes' hands and let him create or get his other teammates involved.
They just called the blocking foul on Chris Agnes, and Mike Hopp didn't like the call. He thought it might have been a charge with the elbow leading a little bit. You take a look.
Well, more times than not, the offensive player is going to get that call, Jim.
This time the ball out of bounds as we return to live action, and the Saints get it back. So there's 5 minutes to go, third quarter. St. Augustine leading 29-25. First to 3 today right here on Channel 4, and 3 more tomorrow as the girls take the floor. Missing underneath, missing the easy one is Abatino. Pushing it up the floor is Tucker. Delvon Garrett. Good pass inside Erskine Ware. It is pushed. Foul called and the ball out of bounds to Kearny. So Kearny's got it back, and we're going to take a timeout with 4:39 to go, third quarter. Kearny just hanging around. It's 29-25. Saints huddle around their head coach, Mike Hopp. They lead the game 29-25. Jim Stone, John Quintero back with you at Cox Arena. John Weisbarth alongside too. John, what do you have?
Well, you talk about the Kearny Comets. Coach Christensen calls this group the Cardiac Kids, and it's not hard to figure out why. You just have to look at their CIF playoff games. They won their first 2 games by a combined total of 2 points. And it's been like that all season. They've got overtime wins. They've got 1-point victories. This team knows how to play in a close game, and they know how to win a close game. Coach, Stoney?
Good point. I mean, you really have to know how to win, and some teams, it takes them a while to get there. But Kearny, they've been able to do it, especially in the postseason.
And talking to Marlon Christian, he really likes this group of kids. They've really worked hard, and they've really continued to grow as a basketball team and as teammates with one another throughout the course of the year.
They just turned it over, though, and Agnes has it on the wing for the Saints, and he's fouled right away by Erskine Ware. Ware has 3. Let's see if Christensen goes to the bench, or he'll just let him play with 4:25 to go, third quarter. You don't want your big horse to get his 4th. Saints with the ball and a lead by 4, 29-25. And that's Ife going to the basket, missing, and Spencer Hancock with the rebound.
Hancock has really come out since halftime, really picked up his play from the first half.
He's been very active. He's got the ball on the wing. Goes out front to Garrett. On the drive. Delvon Garrett, he's had a beautiful game. 10 points for him. It's a ball game, coach, at 29-27. The traveling called underneath, and Kearny's got a chance to tie it or take the lead. Comets doing a nice job.
You mentioned Delvon Garrett having 10 points in the ball game. He's another one of the players for Kearny who can create his own shot.
Ware off the window, and it's the tie ball game.
Well, Erskine Ware gets in that close. You're not going to stop him too often.
Back at the other end quickly, laying it up. Ife, who missed. Rebound down to Hancock. Now Kearny looking for the lead. Erskine Ware. They'll shake and bake for 3. Erskine Ware's feeling it.
And Erskine Ware looks at the Kearny bench and nods his head.
And a foul coming back, and let's see if it is on Ware. It is. That's his 4th.
Well, Erskine was nodding his head rather than hustling back on defense. It ends up costing him his 4th foul. Now he's going to be out till midway at least in the 4th period. Good job. You'll see him nodding his head. The problem was he didn't get back on defense, and when he did, it was too late.
He picks up his 4th foul, and he's going to sit for a while. Kearny has their first lead, 32-29, and they've got the ball back. Into the game to replace him, Brandon Rooks, the 5'9" sophomore. Tucker fires it up and misses. Dubinetsky has the rebound. So the Saints playing from behind for the first time tonight. Let's see how they react. Agnes misses the three. Tucker to Rooks.
I think they're going to have to rely more on Burson now and Garrett to get their points with Ware going to the bench.
They go out front. Marentes is there for the steal. Marentes lays it up and in. Basket one, and how about that shot? Rama Marentes. Felt the contact, heard the whistle, threw it up and in. Chance for a three-point play to tie the game.
Well, this is a savvy player right here. Marentes getting the steal, pushing it up the court, felt that he was getting fouled, and as soon as he heard that whistle, he got into that shooting motion and threw it up. That's what a lot of players don't do, Stoney. The ball, they'll get fouled, and they'll throw it up. You never know. Some of these officials might give you a two-shot foul.
He missed the free throw. It's still a 1-point Kearny lead with 2.5 minutes to go, third quarter. This is Garrett going to the corner to Tucker. Deep three. That's off the top and side of the backboard, out of bounds to St. Augustine. Terrence Tucker, the junior, firing it up. With 2:25 to go. Stanley Johnson is coming back into the game. He'll replace Tucker. Johnson, 6'3", is senior. But Kearny with a little more size now, Coach, on the floor. Both Johnson and Hancock.
I'm real impressed with the athleticism of Kearny. They really move well, and when they're patient offensively, they do some wonderful things.
Mike Silva getting to the basket, getting fouled, and getting to the free throw line. Hancock got the foul. That's his third. And Mike Silva quickly into the game and quickly to the line. He can give St. Augustine a lead if he can make a couple of freebies.
Good looking at Mike Silva, brother of Billy Silva, who's been a star linebacker and all Big Ten performer at Northwestern. Mike gonna, as we talked about in the first half, gonna go up and play for Stanford University next year.
Which means A, he's a good athlete, but even more, B, he's a quality student. He misses first free throw, another one coming. He can tie the game.
Yeah, try a 4.4 GPA.
That's just wonderful. Misses both free throws, gets the rebound. Brings it out to Marentes. Here's Agnes trying to deal, and he lost the ball. Person with the steal. Kearny with numbers. They go out front to Garrett. A pump fake, dribble drive, lost it underneath, but Kearny will keep the ball. Delvon Garrett showed me something.
Oh, yeah, a great first step. And as he made that jump stop, the ball just got knocked out from behind. But Delvon Garrett been very active in this basketball game. And like I mentioned, Garrett and Burson going to have to do the offensive punch till Ware can get back in the ball game with his 4 fouls.
Burson fading away from 14, and he makes it. Mario Burson has 9 points. 34-31, a 3-point lead for Kearny. Well, Kearny has been hot, 6 of 8 from the field this quarter.
Well, they're being more patient. They've only taken a couple of long-range shots. One of them was a three-pointer by Ware. The other was a bad shot by Tucker that hit the time clock above the bucket.
Johnson had that rejection, but the Saints get it back with 1:20 to go. Try and get it down to Silva on a low post. It's knocked out of bounds, and Saints will start over again with 29 to shoot. And Mike Hopp is going to take a timeout at 30. He wants to set a good play coming out of this timeout. They need a basket. They need to change the momentum a little bit.
Yeah, Mike Hopp has to be very concerned. And of course, Mike's been in this situation several times playing in a championship ball game, and he can get the lay of the land. He knows the field, the way things are going right now. Kearny playing with definitely a bounce in their step right now. They're very aggressive defensively. They're attacking the goal offensively. And, I mean, right now, St. Augustine got a tiger by their tail right now. This Kearny team come out of the second half and really done some wonderful things.
And you see Marlon Christensen working his team, and Mike Hopp in the other huddle. Saints.
The one thing Marlon Christensen did is they started in that 2-3 zone, and guys were getting lost. They were losing guys who were coming to their area. Late in the first quarter, he decided to go to a man-to-man, and that has been very effective.
Saints with the ball, but they're down 3 in the third quarter. Here's Marentes, an NBA 3. He missed it. How about Silva skying for the rebound and lost it out of bounds. So the Comets have the ball back, leading 34-31. What a third quarter for Kearny. Remember, they're down 9 early in this game, and they look down and out. They fought back into it before halftime. 6-point game at the break, and now they're leading. That's Rooks. He missed the three. Agnes the rebound.
Right there is not what you need if you're Coach Christensen. You want to be a little more patient offensively. Get the ball to Burson.
Here's Sabatino. Dubineski down low. Turnaround jumper, no. Silva had it. Lost it off his hand, out of bounds. And Kearny's got the ball back with 46 seconds to go, third quarter. 46.5 to be exact. There's an 11-second differential, game clock and shot clock. They could go in a hurry if they wanted. A lot of teams would. Maybe go 2 for 1, but let's see.
Well, their game isn't running, Stoney. They like to work it normally offensively and be patient.
Here's Burson, had it slapped away. There's Morentes with the steal. Morentes lays it off. Good look to Sabatino and missed. Morentes gets it back. In close, laid it up and got fouled. Ramon Morentes working hard. Gets to the free throw line, and the clock stops with 23.9 seconds to go in the quarter.
Once again, Morentes coming down, laying it off right there. And he hustles after the missed shot. He hustles, draws the foul, and go and try to get two at the line.
Chris Speed committed the foul. Morentes makes the first. He's 3 of 4 at the line. He's got 12 points. Looking for 13, and it's a 1-point game. 34-33.
Saints picking up a little bit in the backcourt, just trying to hinder Kearny from getting a good shot here as the time winds down with 15 seconds left.
They break the press, though. They get it to Burson with 14 seconds to go. In close. Speed misses a jumper in the paint. Ife's got the ball. 6 seconds to Morentes. He looks at the clock with 4 and 3. And a blocking foul called out front. It's on Rooks. Brandon Rooks gets his second and the 7th team foul.
Let's take a look
Kearny,
right
so
here.
They're going to the free throw line.
Boy, I don't know about that call right there. I think that's pretty good defense, Stoney. I think that could have gone the other way.
I would imagine that man agrees with you, but the Zebras made the call, and here's Morentes shooting 1-1. He makes the first to get the bonus. 14 now for Morentes. Game's tied, and he gives the Saints the lead. What a game in this Division III championship. 1 second, and the third quarter is over. Coach, I think you had it right. This one's going to go down to the wire after 3. 35-34. Mike Hopkins is Saints leading by 1. Back with more in a minute. Cheerleaders on hand, the Saints leading by 1, 35-34. Jim Stone, John Quintero back with you. Kearny's going to have the ball to start the fourth quarter, and look who's back on the floor. Erskine Ware playing with 4 personal fouls.
Got to wonder if Kearny might go back to that zone here just to protect Ware a little bit early on here in the fourth.
Saints show their matchup zone to start the fourth. Here's Ware popping for 3. And a rebound underneath the Ife. His outlet stolen by Ware. The dribble penetration, misses the shot. This time Agnes gets the rebound.
Ware's got to be careful going into the lane and not picking up a charge.
Dubineski. Morentes for 3. No. Ware gets the rebound. 35-34, St. Augustine by 1. 7:20 to go. Looks blocked underneath. Dubineski with a basketball. Not to Morentes.
Agnes got a piece of that ball.
Here's Sabatino pulling up. Got it. Nick Sabatino. Just his second basket of the game, but it gives the Saints a 3-point lead.
Yeah, Nick has been real quiet. He has a lot of things even when he doesn't score, but that's only his second bucket tonight.
Erskine Ware wanted to go up. Slapped and fouled. Let's see if it's Agnes or Morentes. It's Morentes getting his second, third team foul. And coming into the game, Vasquez, Wilfredo Vasquez for Kearny, the 6-foot sophomore, and going out that man, Brandon Rooks. Ware out front for Kearny. Burson now. Vasquez on the baseline. Delvon Garrett spinning, shooting, and traveling. He took a walk on the boardwalk, and the Saints have the ball back.
Garrett's got some ability. Not only has he got a good first step, he's got good leaping ability. He's been very active throughout the course of this basketball game.
37-34. Saints by 3. They go back toward Agnes, and he gets fouled. Nice pass by Dubineski to find him on the baseline.
Yeah, and Chris almost lost the handle on that ball. He was able to get it back, and you'll see he was able to secure it and get the shot and draw the foul. You see right there, the thing almost went right out of bounds, and then he gets whacked pretty good by number 44, Wilfredo Vasquez.
Agnes makes the first free throw. His first point of the second half. He had 10 at the break. He's got 11 now. Chris Agnes, he's averaging 14 a game. He's got 12 now. And all of a sudden, it's a 5-point lead for the Saints.
And Saints going to apply some pressure in the backcourt.
They're on an 8-0 run. Here's Hancock out high. Where to Burson. Burson's been quiet in the second half. Hancock jump hook. Couldn't get it to fall. Marentes has the basketball. Long lead to Zabatino. Marentes, they swing it. Agnes down low. What ball movement? Dubineski, they find Marentes out front. Might have pushed off, takes the jumper, and got it.
You can see Marentes has played a lot of pickup basketball. He knows how to lean into his defender to get him off and then elevate over him.
I saw that exact move last Saturday in Las Vegas by Marcus Banks to tie the game.
Yeah, you saw it a lot.
But that little dip in and you sort of push off and step back and shoot the jumper.
What did he have a night? A career-high 36 points and led UNLV back to an overtime victory over the Aztecs. And don't be surprised if those two teams don't find a way to hook up in that Mountain West Conference tournament.
That'll be fun. 41-34 here in the Division III title game. Saints leading by 7. Here's Dubineski. They get it to Marentes again. Pull-up J. Over and off. Ware with the rebound.
Kearny needs the bucket in the worst way right now.
They've gone stone cold, and Ware throws it away. A turnover back to the Saints. Mike Silva comes in, and Dubineski goes on with 5:22 to go in the game in this Division III championship.
You know, pointing out, both coaches, I think, have done a real good job in this basketball game so far. Stoney keeping fresh bodies out on the court.
Agnes with it on the wing. Saints are a little bit more patient with the ball. Down low they go to Ike.
Yeah, it really helps. They've got a senior who's been here, done that at the point guard position. He's a quarterback on the floor, that being Marentes.
Ike lost the ball, though. Falling on it, Garrett, good defensive play, and Kearny calls timeout. So 5:01 to go in the game. It's a 7-point lead for St. Augustine. And John Weisbarth joins us courtside. Johnny?
Yeah, in between the third and fourth quarter of that timeout, Coach Mike Hopp urged his team, said, listen, this is about toughness. He said, don't panic. They made their run. We're still up 35-34. They've gone on a 6-0 run here to start the fourth quarter, and they're in good shape, guys.
Still anybody's ballgame. There's no question about that. 5:01 to go, and don't forget to follow the Division II title game with Helix taking the floor against Escondido, and then later on tonight, Carlsbad and El Camino in Division I.
You know, we're talking about Mike Hopp, the head coach of St. Augustine, having played at Mira Mesa High School. Marlon Christensen graduated from Kearny High School back in 1984, and his two assistants, Mike Tompkins, an 88 graduate of Kearny, and Carl Bronson, 83 graduate. All three of them played for legendary high school basketball coach in San Diego by the name of Bill Peterson. Peterson coached at Kearny and Lincoln, and St. Augustine had a great high school coaching career.
Good staff Kearny's put together.
That's great when guys that have played at a school come back and give back to that high school, and these three gentlemen have done an outstanding job.
You bet. Mike Tompkins is an interesting story. Now the video man for the Padres. Padres let him out of work to come back and coach in this one. Underneath, it's Garrett. Elvon Garrett cuts the lead down to 5.
Garrett's been real active tonight at both ends of the floor for Kearny.
Marentes, Agnes out front for 3. Bring it up. Chris Agnes from deep. First three-pointer for him. Saints have hit just 2 triples, but they lead 44-36. Biggest lead of the second half, led by 9 at one point in the first half. On a drive, it's Burson scooping it up and missing. Agnes the rebound off to Marentes. 4 minutes to go.
Burson, nice move, but you got to have more poise on the finish.
Knife is rejected by Hancock, but gets it back. Now throws it away. Garrett the steal. Long lead to Ware. To the basket. All of a sudden, Erskine Ware cuts the lead down to 6.
That was a great job by Ware getting inside, and if Agnes was going to try to block it, he was going to have to go over top of him. That's a nice senior move by Ware.
3.5 minutes left. Will it be the Saints holding on or Kearny coming back to win a championship? Saints spreading the floor just a little bit. Here's Marentes on the drive. Down low, Silva. Missed it underneath. Missed the easy one, but got the rebound and traveled underneath. So Kearny's got the ball back. Trouble is they're down 6. Timeout, 3:17 to go in this Division III title game. Back with more after this. Another 3:17 to go in this Division III title game. Jim Stone and John Quintero courtside at Cox Arena. It's been a fun ball game. Saints of St. Augustine out in front, 44-38. Marentes has a nice line going. 17.6 rebounds, 5 steals for the Saints as they press a little bit. 2-1-2 on their press.
Now they're trying to speed up Kearny a little bit. Now once Kearny gets past the timeline, they should try to attack that goal right now.
Burson misses the jumper and Agnes skies for the rebound. And Marentes has the basketball.
See, anytime a team presses you, Jim, you want to try to attack the goal and make them pay for pressing. If you back it out, once again, you got to just work that much harder to get another good shot.
Sabatino on the drive. He thought he was fouled. The ball out of bounds. It'll stay with the Saints with 2:44 to go. Trying to win back-to-back Division III titles. That's not easy to do. Marentes brings it into Sabatino on the drive. Sabatino's got 6.
And he's got 4 of them here in the pressure cooker of the fourth quarter.
Remember, the guy that led him to a title is in the building tonight, Floyd North. He led him to a title last year. He's enjoying this one, I'll guarantee you.
Yeah, Floyd now playing for Richard McKay up at Oregon State. And rumors he might play a little baseball this year for the Beavers.
Foul called out front. Let's see if it's on Sabatino. No, it's on Marentes. That's his 3rd. But just 5 team fouls on the Saints. The ball out of bounds to Kearny. Saints have been in the bonus for a while. 9 team fouls on Kearny. Comets with the ball, but they're trailing by 8. Now they're trailing by 6 as Erskine Ware gets inside.
Yeah, Ware got inside, but what a thread of the needle pass by 00 Spencer Hancock. Boy, I don't know if he could do that 2 out of 10 times, but he did it when it counted.
Agnes foul going to the basket. 2 shots coming. And the foul was on Hancock. That's his 4th.
Take a look right here. Agnes getting in there, elevating, and Hancock picks up that 4th foul.
And Agnes to the free throw line for a couple. These are big down the stretch. He knocks it down. He's 3 of 3 at the free throw line. In fact, the Saints have missed just 3 free throws in the entire game. Second one for Chris Agnes. Mike Hoppett is right. He told me earlier this afternoon, I'm sitting up in the stands with him, he says, I have a feeling Chris Agnes is going to have a good game. Well, all he's done is gone out and scored 17 points.
Yeah, and the good news for Mike Hoppett, Chris Agnes will be back next year. He's only a junior.
48-40, an 8-point lead, and Kearny's got to be in a hurry now. Minute 49 to go in the game. They need a deep 3 to change the momentum. How about Burson? He missed it. Hancock's got the rebound. Here's Garrett going back to Burson. Inside, Garrett to the basket, laid it in. Delvon Garrett cuts the lead down to 6.
Now, once again, Kearny keeping the ball alive on the offensive board, gave them another opportunity to get their offense going, and Garrett finished that time.
Marentes out front, goes to Agnes. Silva, they swing it left side. Marentes are going to keep it in his hands as much as they can. Agnes the jumper. He missed it. Hancock's got the rebound. The Comets have a chance.
Okay, this will be the last time Kearny's going to be able to not foul. Next time St. Augustine gets the ball, they're going to have to foul.
Ware for 3, over and off. Garrett had the rebound. Lost it out of bounds. Kept out of bounds by the Saints. They touched it last, so Kearny still has the ball down 6 with 53.8 seconds to go. It's a game of inches.
Well, that ball came back and hit Burson, or Garrett, I should say.
Burson misses the 3. It was halfway down and came out. Saints have it. Marentes with the ball in the backcourt.
Got a foul now, Stoney. You can't let the clock keep ticking.
Underneath Silva. Up and in. No basket traveling call. So with 39.4 seconds to go.
Well, Kearny got away with one that time. They really needed a foul. They let about 7-8 seconds go off that clock. Now, the clock's the opponent for Kearny more than St. Augustine.
I like this strategy of the Saints, though, to come after them defensively.
Yeah,
make it tough for them.
Yeah, without a doubt. And they look confused. Kearny looks confused right now. They don't have a clue of how much time's left in this basketball game.
Here's Burson for 3. Fouled. 3 shots coming. Dubineski got it. Dubineski gets his 4th foul and 3 shots coming for Mario Burson.
Yeah,
with 23.8 to go.
Kearny really not sure what time's left in this basketball game, and that's just a horrible foul right there to commit to allow them to get to the line for 3, committed by a senior, Dubineski. And as soon as he committed to the foul, he looked at Coach Mike Hopp and said, I don't know what I was thinking.
Burson misses the 1st. Second one on the way. He's got that. Johnson back in for Kearny and Ife back in. Silva going to the bench for the Saints. Hancock takes a seat for Kearny.
Well, you got to foul immediately now as soon as St. Augustine gets the ball.
Burson missed that free throw. It's a 5-point game, and Dubineski is fouled as he got the rebound. Garrett commits the foul. And Dubineski will walk the other way to shoot a couple of free throws because that's the 10th team foul on Kearny. So Saints are in the double bonus. And Dubineski gets to the free throw line, and Mike Hopp is 22 seconds away from celebrating another championship. I really like Mike. He's a quality guy.
He's a quality guy, and last year he got his first championship at St. Augustine. Of course, you and I had done 3 prior years where he brought his team to the big game, and they couldn't get it done. And you almost felt happy for him last year because he'd been here and been denied 3 straight times. He finally got one last year, and he's hoping to get his 2nd in succession this year right now.
Dubineski missed that first free throw. Of course, he fell victim to Uni in those championship games and the Walt. So it was easy to do.
Well, of course, Jim Tomey was the head coach, now doing a solid job as the assistant for Steve Fisher.
Missed them both. And timeout called by Kearny with 20 seconds to go. 20.2 seconds. There's still a chance. Kearny's got to come down. What do you do, Coach? You go for the 3, you go inside for the deuce and foul again.
I think right now, I think you go down, you roll the dice, Stoney, and I think you go for the 3 right now, and then you inbound the ball by St. Augustine. You foul immediately. That way, if they hit only one of the 2 free throws, you got a chance to tie it with a 3.
As far as timeouts, you might be wondering watching at home, Kearny is now out of timeouts. They can't stop the clock. And that'll be the tough thing. They're going to have to shoot it and foul and hope somebody misses at the other end, get it back.
Well, I think Marlon Christensen obviously would like to have one more timeout, but I think it was a good timeout called right now because you can run a play, get the ball in the hands of the player you want to handle it to create that shot opportunity, and then you hopefully hit a 3. And then you foul immediately and force St. Augustine back to the line, and hopefully they miss one of their 2 free throws or maybe miss both of them.
Coach, how about this crowd here at Cox Arena filling in nicely?
Hey, this town's starting to become a little bit more of a basketball-friendly town. Like it.
They're into it. Fans are into it. Kearny with the ball down 5, 48-43. 20 seconds to go. They can't fool around with it. They've got to come up quickly. Erskine Ware gets it to Tucker. Garrett in the corner. Hancock the jumper. Marentes has the ball for the Saints, and that'll do it with 8 seconds to go. The foul was on Burson. That's his first. Marentes will go to shoot 2, and the Saints are going to win their 2nd straight Division III championship.
I think after the disappointment sets in for Kearny and Coach Christensen and his staff look at this ball game, I know they'll look at the tape of this ball game. I think it really came down to a situation, Jim, where the veteran team won this ball game. They had the veteran point guard in Marentez. He has had such a wonderful ball game, and we talked about his 2 injured feet that are going to require surgery after the year. I mean, I think he's been a difference maker in this ball game. Kearny, a lot of young ball players. They're going to be back again competing hard in their division next year.
Marentez makes them both. He's got 19 points. He's going to be our MVP. 50-43. Tucker banks one in with 2 seconds to go. 50-46, the final score. It's over. St. Augustine celebrates the Division III championship here at Cox Arena. Mike App smiling and enjoying the moment, as well he should, as his Saints win again. They've had to go through some adversity this year to get back to this floor, and I tell you what, they played hard this afternoon. They deserve to be the Division III champions as they win at 50-46.
Yeah, and on the other side of the ledger, you take a look at Kearny. Coach Christensen, before he had his team come over and now exchange handshakes and congratulations with St. Augustine. He talked to his team and said, hey, you know what? Remember what it was like being here, because we want to make a run at it again next year. And you know, this is a great growing experience for this young Kearny basketball team. They got a lot of players coming back. They lose a guy like Erskine Ware, but they've got a lot of youngsters coming back next year, and there's no telling they can get back to this game next year.
So the final 50-46, the Saints win a Division III championship. They celebrate with their fans. Back with more from Cox Arena after this. Welcome back to Cox Arena. St. Augustine wins it 50-46 in Division III, and our player of the game, Ramon Marentez, 19 points, 7 rebounds, 5 steals, 8 of 9 at the free throw line. If you need a good point guard, hey, college coaches, he's available. He's also with John Weisbart.
Thanks a lot, Stoney. Yeah, on behalf of Channel 4, we'd like to present you from Frazee Paint and Wall Covering, the most valuable player award for Division III, Ramon Marentez. There you go. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you. It was all year. This is a struggle, and this is what it comes to. We're excited right now.
Let's talk a little bit about the game. Fourth quarter is really the turning point. They had that big run in the third. You guys were still up by 1. You ran away with it there in the fourth. Well, didn't run away with it, but you came on strong there in the fourth.
We knew we were going to battle the whole game. I mean, we didn't come into this thinking it was a win. And, I mean, we just picked it up at the end. We knew we had to do what we had to do, and just came out the right way.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Stoney, Coach, back to you guys.
All right, John, thank you very much. Marentez knew how to break him down off the dribble. He knows how to shoot the jump shot. He did a terrific job, 19 points and leading St. Augustine to a 4-point win in Division III.
Yeah, I mean, he was an extension of his coach, Mike Hopp. He was a quarterback of the basketball team. And the bottom line, when they got into dire straits there towards the end of the third and early fourth quarter, they got the ball in Marentez's hands. He knew what to do with it. And a real solid effort by St. Augustine. They were challenged by Kearny. Kearny, after they got their sea legs here at Cox Arena, after the first quarter, they played a very nice basketball game. But I really think the veteran leadership of St. Augustine, starting with their point guard Marentez, was the difference in this game.
Agnes had a good game too for the Saints with 17 points, and you have to think about Erskine Ware and Burson and those kids for Kearny. They're a little disappointed they lost a championship game, but they played well.
And like we mentioned, Jim, they're a very young basketball team. They lose Erskine Ware, they lose Hancock, who I thought played a real nice game in the middle, but they've got a lot of young youngsters to possibly get back to this ball game next year, and I think this is a great learning experience for them.
There's no question about it, but hats off to St. Augustine. The Saints are Division III champions. Final score in this one this evening at Cox Arena. They win it by 4. The Saints 50. The Comets 46. Coming up next, a brand new edition of the Toyota Padres Report. Glenn Geffner will get you up to date on what's going on in Peoria. As Padres open up Cactus League play. That's the Toyota Padres Report coming up next, followed by the Division II title game in about 30 minutes. Helix and Escondido. For John Quintero, Jim Stone saying so long for a half hour. The Saints are Division III champs. St. Augustine wins it by 4. So long, everybody.